Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back. I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for that shit, bro. I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro? There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago by the city by itself.
Shit, Trump don't know who he messing with type shit. You know what I'm saying, twin? He sent them troops to Chicago. They finna fuck around and find out. Shit, this is Chirac, baby. Y'all niggas ain't gonna do a fucking thing. Pledge allegiance to the flag and shut the fuck up, nigga.
For those of you who are offended by the profanity, I apologize, but I had to let those two videos play in their entirety just so you could understand the enormity of what's going on in this moment. You have gangbangers in the city of Chicago who are literally and voluntarily going onto social media, and they are threatening the most lethal, most advanced military in the history of mankind and telling them, do not come to Chicago because we have switches and we're not going for it, and we're not DC, we're not Los Angeles, we're Chicago. I don't know if these young people understand, or if these individuals understand. There is nothing that you are going to be able to do if the military comes into the city of Chicago. And here's the greatest irony. Here's the greatest irony of what we're watching right now. The mayor of Chicago finds himself in the enviable position to be in line and in league with this opinion. The mayor of the third largest city finds himself on the same side of the issue as the gangbangers from the city of Chicago. Don't believe me? Take a look at this.
No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago. And we got the baddest freaking labor movement in the city of Chicago, birthed right here.
So think about this for a second. The mayor, Brandon Johnson, is saying, we don't want the National Guard in the city of Chicago. The gangbangers, who are the very individuals who are causing the violence and causing the discord in the city of Chicago, which is the genesis of the entire discussion about whether or not to bring the National Guard to the city, they're saying the same thing. We don't want the National Guard in the city of Chicago. The only difference is that the gangs are saying, if the National Guard comes to the city of Chicago, they're going to meet force with force. But you hear Brandon Johnson saying at the end of his speech on Labor Day, something really, really similar. Take a look.
The people united will always prevail. I need you all to stand firm, to stand strong. If this president decides to continue to break this Constitution, it's going to be the labor movement that stitches it back together. The labor movement that brings black folks, white folks, Asians. It brings brown folks together. This is the city that said keep hope alive. The city that birthed yes we can. And the city that will defend this country. God bless you all. God bless the labor movement. God bless the greatest freaking city in the world. Chi-Town.
So there you hear it. Brandon Johnson. It's a tacit call, but one could interpret that he is calling for all of the people in the city of Chicago to stand against what the federal government and Washington, D.C., and by extension Donald Trump are trying to do. But there are a lot of people in the city of Chicago who are in complete agreement with sending the National Guard, because the good citizens of the city of Chicago have lost faith in the CPD's ability to protect the citizens of the city of Chicago. They have lost faith in the government of the city of Chicago, including the mayor, including the aldermen. But I don't want to get lost here. The Chicago gangs and the mayor of the city of Chicago are on the same side about resisting outside help to come into the city of Chicago and fortify CPD so that ordinary citizens and Chicagoans can be protected. And it's not just the gangbangers. It's not just the gang and the criminal element who are dropping this warning to Donald Trump and to Washington, D.C., sending in the National Guard or sending in federal troops. Listen to this. 2 women are saying basically the same thing. This is unbelievable to me. Take a look at this.
I cannot wait to see Chicago versus the Army. They not finna let them, they finna wear them people out. They finna wear them troops out with the National Guard. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see Chicago versus the National Guard.
He can mess with just any city, but this is not the one to play with. Chicago, we have a decision to make because he's made his. They're gonna get the biggest wake-up call in the world. Chicago is not the city to mess with. They should have been knew that. And I know a lot of us have been saying, I'm waiting until it's time. I'm waiting till it's time. I'm not gonna get out there until it's time. That clock has run out. It is time, y'all. When I say it's time, I mean it's time to be Chicago. And you know exactly what I mean. If something goes down, we're the ones to protect each other, protect ourselves, protect our neighbors. We've already proven to do this. Think about when ICE came. Think about when he sent them folks to try and get Puerto Ricans up out of here. He knew he couldn't do it because they're citizens, so he sent them to intimidate them anyway. And that did not go well, did it? We've never gone for that. We don't go for that. Like, are you kidding? We should not start now. Like, you'd think that they'd actually be proud of the work that we've done. Like, this city is very, very segregated, which means that crime is very concentrated in certain parts of the city. That's already happening, so what more could they ask for? And on top of that, the crime that we do have is statistically trending downward, even in the summertime. And that is saying a lot, you know that. So they have no reason to be here, but if they're gonna be here, all right then. We've been looking out for each other, we're not gonna stop now. I'm not saying get hurt, I'm not saying go in harm's way, I'm not saying to mess with anybody. I'm saying to act like you know you from Chicago. These folks they bringing in, they clearly don't know about Chicago. They don't know what the city is about. Show them. And at the end of the day, Chicago, do what you gotta do. Love you, stay safe.
Here's the irony of what that last woman said. Let me start with the first woman first. She's saying that the gangs are going to wear out the National Guard. She's saying that if the National Guard comes to Chicago and it's a battle against or between the National Guard and local Chicago gangs, that the Chicago gangs are going to win. We really need to do a better job of educating our citizenry. That someone could think that, again, the most advanced military in the history of the world is going to be defeated by some gangbangers in the inner city. And let's game this out. Let's do this thought exercise. Say the National Guard comes to the city of Chicago and there's a conflict between the National Guard and local gangs, and the local gangs do win. Do you think the United States government is going to stand down? Have you been paying attention to how the United States operates globally? If the National Guard comes into the city of Chicago and local Chicago gangs overwhelm the National Guard, all that's going to happen is that they're going to now give Donald Trump the federal authority to step it up, and then they're going to come in with even more force. But let's even take it a step further. If United States citizens are fighting against the army, the military, whatever you want to call it, if they're fighting against the military, technically, and someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but if you fight against the army or the military of your own country, you can be convicted for treason, I believe. I'm not an attorney, but my reading of the Constitution is that if you fight against your own military, you can be charged with treason. Do you think for 1 second that the United States government is going to hesitate for a moment going into a city on United States soil, and that they are going to have any compunction about taking people and remanding them for fighting against their own military? That's number one. But number two, the second young lady said something really, really interesting. She said if the National Guard comes in, that we need to band together and we need to stick together and we need to watch each other's back and have each other's back. That sounds great. There's only one problem with what she said. The majority of black people who are killed in the city of Chicago are killed by other black people. They don't have each other's back now. What makes her think that all of a sudden there's going to be this sense of camaraderie and brotherhood that's going to stitch this patchwork of individuals together because the National Guard comes in, especially when you factor in the variable that there is a plurality of black people in the city of Chicago who have been begging for federal assistance to come into Chicago and fortify CPD for decades. This is really, at the end of the day, the police are caught in this catch-22. If they go into the worst parts of the city where the most violence occurs, and it just happens to be the black areas, if they go into those areas and they go in there with force to quell the violence, then the accusation will be, oh, they're just doing this to people because they're black and they're racist. If they don't go in, then you continue to see what you're seeing right now. You see violence metastasize. You see antisocial behavior slowly becoming the norm. And in either case, innocent Chicagoans, innocent people are suffering because you've got this lack of malleability in our government in the city of Chicago, where they can't do two things at once. They can't allow CPD to fulfill its mandate to protect the citizens of Chicago while simultaneously holding CPD accountable when they do go too far, when there is overreach. In 2025, I sincerely doubt that any politician or any city government is going to allow CPD to return to the days of John Burge from the 60s and the 70s, and that they're going to allow CPD to go in and run over the rights of individual citizens. But as much as Brandon Johnson and as much as the Democratic Party wants to stand up for the rights of criminals, to make sure they are not abused by the criminal justice system, a lot of us wish they had the same tenacity and the same fervor to make sure that innocent people who don't break the law are not subjected to the whims of criminals. It's completely fine to say as a government that you want to make sure that our police departments and that our criminal justice system does not take advantage of people. The rest of us who are law-abiding citizens who have never entered the criminal justice system just wish they defended us as much as they defend the criminals who decide to commit crime. That's really what all of this is about. And shame on Brandon Johnson that he finds himself in league with the very criminals who are creating the environment that started the conversation about bringing the National Guard here in the first place. He is so ideologically, tidally locked to his far left progressive ideology that he can't even for a moment put himself into the place of a law-abiding citizen, because he is the perpetual victim and he views black people as perpetual victims. I am not a victim and you are not a victim unless you choose to be a victim. So jump in the comments for me. Let me know, based on what you're seeing right now, do you believe that Brandon Johnson and the gang criminal element in the city of Chicago find themselves on the same page? And if they do, what should we do about it? Do me a favor, if you're still hanging out, a lot of you are watching this channel and consuming this content, and I appreciate it. So just do me one quick favor. It's completely free. It only takes a second. You're holding your phone, or you're holding your tablet, or you're holding your mouse next to your computer. A lot of you are watching on television. Just take 2 seconds. Move to that subscribe button. Click it, then like the video, leave a comment, and if you really enjoy this, share this with someone whom you know this message will resonate. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one.